Former Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands raised concerns over the handling of Dorian deaths and the missing persons registry, as he suggested the government needs to apologize for the myriad of mistakes that were made. Sands also insisted there was a lack of transparency, as he called for a coroner's inquest to help get some of the much-needed answers.
We did not handle the identification of those who lost their lives or the missing very well. The official death toll of Dorian stands at 74, but the actual death toll and reconciliation of missing persons remains unknown. As of today, we do not know collectively who is lost, who is missing, or missing and presumed dead. I fear that we have not sufficiently elevated this matter as a national priority.
Sands' comments come 9 months after Hurricane Dorian ravaged Abaco and Grand Bahama. He admitted that nearly a year after the storm, there still remains uncertainty over the death toll and missing persons. The minister's administration has come under fire for what some have called the mishandling of the matter. During his contribution to the 2020-2021 debate, Sands, who resigned from the health minister post in early May amid controversy during the COVID-19 crisis, said the government squandered its credibility.
People want to know why we have no DNA matches for those persons recently buried. The public deserves to know how many samples were taken. How many times were those samples taken? Where were they tested and by whom? Why is there no publicly accessible listing or database of missing persons? What are the names of the people lost? The mothers, the fathers, the children.
The Elizabeth MP also called for a coroner's inquest into Hurricane Dorian deaths.
If we are to get closure as a country, we must accept the loss, outline the process used, admit our missteps, and operationalize systems to do better.
The mishandling of Dorian deaths was not the only matter Sands took issue with. The Elizabeth MP also highlighted how the missing persons list was handled. At a Disaster Reconstruction Authority press conference last month, Assistant Commissioner of Police Solomon Cash said only 33 people are still listed as missing in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian. Sands says despite the official numbers, the process was not properly managed.
You see, responsibility was spread over multiple ministries and government agencies. It was believed that this would ensure greater clarity, but in action, it proved to be a recipe for disaster. You know, we started with a list of several thousand persons missing. That list was managed by the Ministry of Social Services. We ended with a missing persons list controlled by the RBDF that included less names than the number of unidentified persons that we buried. To this day, we do not know what happened that caused thousands or hundreds of names to be excluded from that official list.
Sands said the reason behind slimming down the list still remains a mystery. He called on the government to be more transparent, as he says there are still countless families whose lives have been shattered by Dorian. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.